Hello everybody, it's Donna here from Embrace the Moon Tarot, and I am just going to make this a very quick intro and say that I'm really sorry that I haven't been doing the Tarotscopes lately, but all the feelings and the energy that has been available, I've been feeling all of them. Or at least I feel like I have been. So I've been kind of making myself a little bit of a hermit, but let's see if I can get back into the swing of these and start with February's reading. So let's begin. Hello Aries, and welcome to your February 2018 reading. I am focusing on the four corners of our life, which are mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. And I right away, I just have to go right straight to the emotional because I felt like whatever is going on is going to be tapping into the emotional. And some of the vibrations of this, the ripples of this, you've kind of already been feeling. And this is definitely going to be the beginning of the month of February. We have the Tower. And for whatever reason, something's going to be slowing down within you. And there's a bit of a pause. And they're just moments, but within those moments, because there's a pause, because there's a slowing down, there's a tapping into that you'll be doing emotionally. Kind of some heavy contemplation that is having you look at yourself and look at your connections with people and just trying to really tap into how you perceive that you are within those relationships versus how those people perceive, and coming to the conclusion that some of the relationships, how they perceive you is not the person you think you're presenting them. So you feel like you are a certain person a certain way, and therefore the connection can be defined in a certain way as a result of it. But who you are actually presenting and who they perceive that you are different. And it's not a terrible thing. There's no fakeness, there's no lying, there's no putting on any fronts or anything. It's just a bit of miscommunication, a misunderstanding of representation. You know, it's kind of like sending a text, and because there's no if you send just very cryptic message because you're in a hurry, the other person who's receiving it, there's no body language to read. There's no emotional inflections to read. There's no surrounding conversation or paragraph to read. I'm not saying that you're cold. Please don't take it that way. But in the same sense, there's just been a misunderstanding. So when they see you or when they connect with you, you're not all that you perceive that you're presenting of yourself. Like, you're holding back in some regards, kind of being protective in some regards, and because of that, they're misunderstanding. And so the relationship from their perspective is slightly different than your perspective. Now, the truth of the matter is, though, the desire for more is there, which is a good thing, because then if you're going to be sitting back and you're going to be contemplating these relationships and these emotional connections, and you start to see, all right, I thought I was presenting this way, but obviously they didn't hear that or they didn't see that. So what do I need to change so that they actually see what I am or who I am, and they can see my heart for where it is, and they can hear who I am and see who I am specifically. You can build a better, stronger connection, which is what that other person wants too. Like, you both want a better connection. It's just the bridge in the middle isn't the same. It's just not, it's not connecting quite right, not in complete format. Things are getting kind of missed or lost in the from transition from one to the other. And you're going to be recognizing this in the beginning of February. You're going to start seeing that you want them to see a different side of you or to understand a different side of you. And the problem with that is there will be some heavy emotions that come with it, because you're going to be realizing that how you've been doing things, how you've been presenting yourself is not how you thought that you were. And so then you have to do some backtracking, and you have to really kind of take a step back to take a broader look at your thoughts, your thoughts and your desires of representation versus how you are actually presenting yourself, or how people might perceive that you are presenting yourself. So it's just, there's going to be some heavy emotions as a result of it, because you really have to kind of rethink your actions, your thoughts, your words, your perceptions. And again, this is in no way saying that you've been fake or anything like that. It's just something in translations being missed, and you're going to start seeing that, and you're going to want to try to fix that. And to fix that means you have to be emotionally invested in the situation, in the relationship, in your personal perceptions of yourself versus, or in congruence with other people's perception of you. And so there's just going to be a shakeup emotionally as a result of it. And it's all internal. And it's all just ways that can point you in a direction to have deeper connections with people, more, just a deeper sense of love and emotional connection to these people that you already do love and who already do love you. It's just going to kind of deepen that a little bit more and make you feel solid as a result of it. And so we have, along with that, and it kind of goes and it ties in with that, it is in the physical realm. And this can mean several different things, but I feel that this is directly speaking about the people who are in your personal universe, your life. So family, friends, can even be coworkers that you have a connection with that goes just a little bit beyond someone you say hi to when you see each other when in passing at work. But as a result of it, we have the Three of Cups sitting in the personal and the physical. So in the actual, what makes up your universe. And I do believe that this is in connection with the Tower moment that you're going to be experiencing in the beginning of February in the emotional status. And as a result of this, you're going to be tapping into the energies that will allow you to connect and recognize support. But beyond support, like I said, that deepening connection, people who are already connected to you, who are already emotionally invested in you and love being emotionally invested in you and love having you being emotionally invested in them, really deepening those connections so that they are there for you in ways that you've always wanted them to be, and they have always wanted to be, and they're there for you in ways that you've always wanted them to be. So, it's just this mutual transference of energy that creates a support system that is just based on emotional love. I mean, it doesn't have to be sexual or sensual. It can be platonic. It can be just an emotional connection that feeds us. And like I said, it's just connected as a result of whatever it is that's going to give you pause. And I don't feel that this is a specific physical traumatic event. It's just going to be those moments that allow us to take a step back and really breathe in. And because of that, we're extremely aware of everything. It's like everything's in HD, vibrant color or whatever. But this is going to be happening to you on an internal emotional level. And as a result of that, some of the connections that you have on in your physical world with friends and family is going to shift, and it's going to shift in a more supportive way. You'll be supporting them, they'll be supporting you, you'll be supporting yourself and how you connect with people on a relationship level. So it's just, like I said, it's just going to be this nice transference of energy and connection as a result of it. And it's going to be deep, like all of your relationships have the potential of deepening as a result of this. But this happens first. This is more towards the middle and end. Like it starts somewhere towards the middle and will continue through the end of February. Some of this starts because mentally you've been contemplating, and I didn't catch this when I laid down the cards. I would have started with this because this is also in the beginning, and this is going to lead up to that emotional. Mentally, you're just going to be having moments of thinking about connections. And because this is on your mind, because those connections on a higher level is on your mind, and kind of tapping into what it is that you do and don't know, what it is that you perceive that you know, that you may have miscommunicated to yourself when you laid out these files of information regarding these connections about yourself, about these other people, and then yourself and these other people together. There'll be those moments where you continue, when you think of this, what's going to be on your mind, and those connections on that level, on a higher level, like I said, more than just, it doesn't have to be sensual, it can be platonic, but more than just that casual person that you meet who you see on a daily basis, but don't mean as much to you on a deeper level as, we have coworkers that we're close to, and we have coworkers that we're not. So this isn't the ones that you're not close to. These are the ones that you are close to. And of course, family and friends. But there'll be some time in the beginning of February where you'll be kind of contemplating these connections and contemplating your definition of them, their definition of them, and then whether or not they are mutually exclusive, whether they actually connect. Are they the same? Do they reflect and resonate with each other? And because of that, because of you digging deeper mentally about those particular connections, that's going to kind of stir the pot emotionally and creating that internal rumbling that has you really contemplating the connections with these people and emotionally how it feeds you, how they feed them. And like I said, it's the bridge. Does it match? Does things get lost in translation from one side to the other? And all of this is going to lead to higher spiritual connections. Because when we connect to people on this level, it helps us to connect to our higher self. And I feel that on a spiritual level, this is what this is representing. Not so much a deity of some sort, not so much spirit or the universe or the power to be, but more so that source within, that higher portion of ourselves, that higher version of our soul. And all of these connections, all these contemplations and ponderings that you're going to be experiencing. And if you choose to take part in it and see how you can learn from it, whatever it is that you want to learn from it, and where it can lead you and how it can deepen these connections. As a result of it, it's going to sort of deepen your connection with yourself, with the higher power that resides within yourself, the higher version of yourself, the more authentic part of who you are. And the more you connect with that, the more you'll be able to allow that part of yourself to come out. And of course, that's going to create shifts and changes. And as a result of that, you have the potential of connecting with these people on a higher level because you're allowing this more authentic part of yourself to come through. And so then when they're connecting to you, they're not connecting to the part of yourself that you're trying to put out. They're actually connecting to the more authentic version of yourself, if that makes sense. So I went ahead and pulled an additional oracle card to kind of wrap it all together. Some that's like kind of like a mantra that you could kind of carry through you, or wrap it all together, or just give you a little something to carry you through the month of February. And I pulled happy. And this to me is just reminding you not to allow this to get too heavy. Because I feel that some of you will have the tendency, once this starts to rumble and shake some of the foundation and you start contemplating some of those bridges and how well they are actually matched and how well the vibrations between people you know actually do resonate with each other, you run the risk of allowing yourself to get weighed too down, bogged too down, and saddened a little bit too much as a result of it. Kind of emotionally dragged down as a result of it, and kind of lean towards being, I don't want to say depressed, because I don't want to in any way offend those who actually suffer from depression, but not clinical depression, but that depression that really kind of is hard to just say, all right, I'm over this, and walk away from. If we allow ourselves to sit in those heavy, heady thoughts, sometimes it can bog us down emotionally to the point of having a really bad case of the blues. That's kind of hard to shake. So be mindful of that as you progress and work through these emotions. And when you are experiencing the weight of this too much, connect to those people that you do resonate with. Learn from how you can resonate deeper. But in those moments that you're connecting and learning, also remember to be happy. Look for those moments that are happy. Look at those people that you are connecting with and recognize the fact that even though it hasn't been the mutual exclusive resonating that you thought did exist, when you see them, when you're with them, when they're experiencing you while you're experiencing them, they are happy with you. They do still love you, and be happy in that moment. And just recognize that it's not that the relationship wasn't great. It's just that now you have the potential of making the relationship better. So those happier moments could be even brighter. So look for those happy moments in those connections. And then if you're not connecting with someone but you're still feeling heavy, look for the ways that you can to fill yourself with happiness. Look for happiness, create happiness, whatever it takes. Just make sure that you take moments to be happy so that you don't allow yourself to get too heavy by that emotional upset that you might experience. You don't want to get yourself, like I said, you don't want to be overcome with too heavy of the case of the blues. So happy. Happy, happy. Look for happy. Be happy with these people. Recognize that they are happy and love you even before you started this journey of introspection. And they still love you anyhow, so it's okay. You're just looking for ways to deepen it. So happy, happy. All right, Aries, I hope that gives you food for thought and some rays of sunshine when you may otherwise feel that it doesn't exist through the month of February. And hopefully your connections will be deepened by the end of February, and February will end on a happier note. And hopefully I will see you in the next one.